You know, so many people say that 2017 is the worst year ever, but I don't know where those people are coming from, okay? We got official confirmation that Soul Calibur 6 is coming out. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, that makes this the best year ever. And since Soul Calibur 6 comes out next year, apparently, then that means that things are only going to look up from there. So, this is my sort of reaction to not only the announcement trailer that dropped yesterday or the other day, but also the gameplay trailer that just came out, according to YouTube, within the last only 12 hours or so. So, I'm hyped for this game. As far as I'm concerned, Soul Calibur 2 is one of the greatest games ever. Not just fighting games, one of the greatest games ever. I spent probably hundreds of hours just practicing alone on that game, trying to learn every character. I still remember a lot of the button inputs, although it was on the weird as hell GameCube controller, so I can't necessarily do that again on a different, like a conventional controller. However, I got to learn Link, so it makes up for it. But that aside, so this is the new Soul Calibur 6, and I'm pretty hyped up for it if you can't tell. So let's just watch it. May contain content inappropriate for children. Well, how else would you have it? It's interesting because it's a Greek temple that they show here. Which, wow, look at the environmental effects on it. But Sophitia's stage in at least Soul Calibur 2 and I think other games was the Temple of Hephaestus, god of the Forge. And this doesn't look like that, so I'm not really sure where this is exactly.
Just as shadows are cast where there is light, history hides away more than one truth.
History hides away more than one truth. That's very interesting. I think Soul Calibur 6 is going to be an alternate take on the original Soul Calibur game. There's evidence, there's both visual and sort of other evidence in these trailers to support that, although there is some stuff that we haven't seen before. Like, where is it? Yeah, this sword here, this may be Mitsurugi's sword, but it may also, I guess that's a katana because of the seam down the middle. Never mind. But we'll see later on what I'm trying to get at. Damn.
The wait is over. Let's begin.
You can... Stop it. Go back. So you see here that Mitsurugi is young again. In Soul Calibur 5, he was probably in his mid-50s. He was a much older character. But here, he looks like a young guy again. You know, somebody who's in the prime of life. Soul Calibur and Soul Edge. Nightmare. Yes. Sophitia is probably my favorite character. So, like, it's hard to pick between her and her sister Cassandra. They're very similar, but not quite the same. But the fact that they just flip kick people, it's yeah. You see them doing the moves. Bam. That's kind of an interesting move that she just did, where she blocked all those blows, because that's a new move. So I don't know if, like, every character is going to have more defensive moves like that, or if that's just something specific to her.
Welcome back.
And then we get this guy here. This guy is a new guy. Like that, this double sword staff, that's not anybody's weapon. And he looks pretty thin, so it doesn't look like Cervantes or Nightmare, who are both pretty stout and stocky. So I don't know who this guy right here is supposed to be. Maybe it's a younger version of Algol, who's the guy who created Soul Edge and Soul Calibur. Or maybe it's somebody else entirely. It's hard to tell.
Back to the stage of history.
So that trailer was cool for the hype. But then we get the gameplay trailer, which I think is even cooler. Is the audio up? Yep, audio up. Okay, interesting thing here. So we get a much better look at both of their costumes. So we see Mitsurugi, Now look at this concept art of Mitsurugi from the Soul Calibur game, which actually Soul Calibur was predated by Soul Edge, but nobody remembers that game. It only set the stage for what would come later. But this is what Mitsurugi wore in Soul Calibur, and then we look at him now in Soul Calibur 6. It's very similar. It's not 100% the same. Some of the details are off, but it's pretty obvious that this is supposed to be basically the same costume.
Next time, fight like you mean it!
I am ready to fight.
It's funny because apparently, and I can't remember where I read this exactly, but it was a credible source. Soul Calibur 6 almost didn't happen at all, and the original Soul Calibur 5 came out in 2012, which not long after that is when Gamergate really got in swing, where, you know, all these accusations of sexism and depictions of women in games or whatever. So apparently one of the big reasons why Soul Calibur 6 almost didn't get made and was delayed for at least a few years was because there was an in-house fight about what to do about female character bust sizes. Because Soul Calibur, that's one of the things it's known for. All the female characters have a large bust, especially characters like Ivy that just, you know, that are practically naked. And apparently there was a lot of controversy in Namco about what to do about it. And it looks like that the direction they went with is to honor the traditional depiction of the characters. In fact, I think her breast is actually even larger than in Soul Calibur 2 here. So it's nice to know that given a choice between kowtowing to people like Anita Sarkeesian or kowtowing to or honoring people who would actually spend money on the game, who have actually supported the series in the past, that they chose the latter. It seems like Japanese studios are much better about that than American studios, and it's nice to know that they went with that. Also of note, so I don't think you see it. Okay, right here. So you see these like leather leggings. Those are unique to Soul Calibur, the first game, just like Mitsurugi's costume here. That red breastplate and armored left arm. Ignore the snarky commentary on this. This is stupid. But yeah. So this is very clearly these characters' outfits are inspired by the Soul Calibur look and not later looks, which adds to my theory that this is an alternate reality, like a separate timeline or something.
I am ready to fight you.
Oh my god, so many memories.
Time to end you!
So they really brought back the critical finish thing? Huh.
Oh gods, guide me.
Yes. I remember all of these moves. So they really brought back clothing damage? Huh.
My resolve will never falter.
Look at the animation.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
Yeah, big, man, so much hype, so much excitement. It doesn't say when it's coming out in 2018, so unfortunately, I would guess a year from now, you know, sometime in like fall or winter. So that kind of sucks, but I'm just really glad. And the fact that it's, they're going back to the classic look and feel of it, the fact that they're sticking to the usual depictions of the characters, the fact that they didn't give in to the social justice warriors. This looks really cool. So we'll see how the game actually plays. But I'm just really excited that there's going to be a new Soul Calibur. So tell me what you think. Tell me if you're excited as I am. Tell me if you're looking forward to this. In any case, this is Unranked Chevron signing off.